Hi guys, we are finally at the end of the 22 days data analysis challenge. This challenge was an opportunity for AI and data analytics enthusiasts to exercise their Python programming skill or Power BI or R programming on an exciting project. And also, it was an opportunity for the active members to stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100 euros. Now, just to remind you of what the data analysis challenge was all about. So the active members received a data set about a shipment company that was interested in analyzing their sales objective. So some of the objective the active members were supposed to complete were to evaluate the financial performance of the company in terms of revenue, cost, profit, and profit margin. The second objective was to provide insight into the factors that influence the profitability of the company, such as the vendor, customer segment, article category, brand, and location. And finally, they were to compare the monthly revenue of the current year to the previous year to assess the growth or decline of the company's sales. So those were the objectives of the analysis, and they were to use their favorite tool, be it Power BI or Python programming or Arrow programming. Without any further ado, I would like to announce the winner of the 22 days data analysis challenge. Okay, I know, guys. I know you're anticipating to know the winner of the challenge. You will definitely know soon. But before I do, I would like to mention that we have ongoing trainings. So if you're interested in picking up technical skills in order to enrich yourself in the field of AI and data analytics, we have ongoing trainings such as data analysis, business analysis, machine learning, agile project management, some specific courses such as cloud computing, Python programming, database and SQL, Power BI, just to name a few. So you can head on to our website, Graffiland, under the training section. You will be able to find the details of each of the programs or the courses. Please note, there is 100% refund after 2 lessons. Let's say, for example, you subscribe or you enroll for any of our trainings, and after 2 lessons, you feel like it is not a perfect match for you. Be rest assured you are going to receive 100% refund. I'm serious about that. 100% refund. Next, there is an event happening tomorrow, Wednesday, 13 March, between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Brussels time. So this event is all about increasing your chances of getting hired in the field of AI and data analytics. And guess what? It is free. So what are the things we will be covering during that event? I will be the one hosting that event, and I will explain to you guys how you should be able to choose the right companies in order to reduce rejections. And also, I will show you how to your personal CV, how to prepare a video sales letter. Nowadays, people don't really read CVs anymore. So why not add an additional asset to your portfolio, such as a video sales letter? Then build a technical CV. If you are to get involved in the field of AI and data analytics, you should be able to showcase your technical abilities. And that is what I call a technical CV. Then finally, I always say you can be the brilliant guy, you can be the brilliant girl or brilliant candidate, but if you're not able to create the awareness to persuade, to self-promote yourself on professional platforms such as LinkedIn, then sorry guys, you will always miss on very, very important opportunities. So I will show you how to professionally brand yourself on platforms such as LinkedIn. And finally, you can't just wait for job opportunities to be posted on career websites. Why not approach job employers? You have to be proactive. So I will show you my own technique of approaching employers, and how you can increase your chances of getting hired. So please note, this event is 100% free. You don't need to register. I will provide the link to the meeting tomorrow, which is at 8 p.m., between 8 and 9 p.m. process time. So you should be able to find the link to join this meeting in the video description. Now, again, I know this is it. I will now move ahead to announce the winner of Okay, I'm happy to announce that the winner of the 22 days analysis challenge is Chick Darren. So Chick Darren is based in Cameroon, and Chick Darren used ARU programming in order to do the analysis for the shipment company. I really want to emphasize that all the active participants, I really congratulate you. You guys did a very, very good job. I'm happy that you participated. It was, it was a bold step towards your career. It's not easy for someone to take that bold step. So please, guys, I really want to say thank you for participating. But obviously, there's always going to be a winner, right? We need just one winner. But for me, everyone won. So Chick Darren is the official winner. Also, he's the one to receive the cash prize. And I would really recommend that for the rest of the group, for those that showed interest, be it active or passive members, please stick to Graffiland. We'll always, do stuff like this, share ideas, maybe organize another challenge. There's always something happening in Graffiland, and I will encourage you all to attend the event tomorrow. It's a free event. You don't have to pay anything. If you're free between 8 and 9 p.m., why not come and join me to be able to increase your chances of getting employed? So, Chick Darren, once again, congratulations. I'm going to leave you guys to watch a full presentation of the active members. So this is just the final presentation. It's an opportunity for you to also see how others are using their favorite tools in order to analyze data, right? So you can assess yourself. Are you up to that level? If you know you're not up to that level, it's an opportunity also to maybe reach out to us to help you get more skills in attaining that level. If you're already above that level, it's also an opportunity for you to join us during the meeting tomorrow, or maybe reach out to me one-on-one in order to help you polish up your job preparation. You need to learn the job. The essence is not to learn skills and you don't use them. The essence is learn the skills and you should be able to learn the job. So please stay put and watch to the end. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. My name is Chik Ziran and I'll be presenting on the 22 Days Data Analysis Challenge. The presentation will run through this, we take this outline from introduction through research question to results discussion and conclusion. So a shipment company wants to understand how their company is performing financially, and they have data on customer, cost, vendors, and articles over time, and they want to present insights on their data. So they gave several objectives, and the main objective was to evaluate the financial performance of the company in terms of revenue, cost, profit, and profit margin. And analysis was also to provide insight to factors that influence profitability of the company, like vendor, customer segments, article category, brand, and location. And we were also to compare the monthly revenue in order to assess the growth or decline of the company. So basically, we were to answer these four questions. The first question was to find out the most and least profitable customer segments, or article category or brands and location. We were also to find out how profitability varies per season, month, or week. We were to examine the trends and patterns in revenue, cost, profit, and profit margin over time. And we were also to find or explore opportunities and or challenges for the company to improve its financial performance. So the data was analyzed, compiled, analyzed, and this slide show was done using the Microsoft PowerPoint. So I am going to use dashboard, a dashboard for the presentation. Now, basically, what we did was for the different data sets, it was compiled into one data set that produced our that and in that one data set was what we imported into R and worked with. So first thing we had to do was we had to check for the structure of the whole data set, and after checking for the structure, we had to convert different variables into different forms so that the software can analyze, can understand for better analysis. So after doing all the data cleaning and checking for missing variables, checking for wrongly inputted variables with the software, and asking several questions from week one, week two, and week two, we did the analysis, and summarily we found out that the company had a total revenue, that is the sales, um, the expense, the amount from the company's direct day-to-day activity was 99 million, was over 99 million, and the company made a total a profit of over 5 of over 50 35 million. The total cost for buying all the company's items was more than 63 million, and the company made averagely a gross profit margin of 34.55%. Now, based on the objective one, which was to find out the most and least um, profitable in terms of different aspects, we realized that for profit segment, the B2B had over 96% profit, generated over 96% profit. We also realized that as per the brands, the Apple brand generated close to 7 million, um, which was higher than every other brand. And the reparation sector barely generated one tenth of a million. As per the location, Shop 2 was the highest with over 48, well, with more than 48% of the total profit, and Shop 1 came least with over with not up to 25% of the total profit. As per the article category, we realized that this laptop and desktop were peaking with more than 8 million profit generated, and services barely had for 50,000 profit. As per the cost per article, as for the cost per article, we realized that laptop was the highest with more than 20 million cost per article. Now for the article per revenue, we had to just present it so that we can see how the revenue trend, and realize that it was similar to the cost, which is logical since the company is trying to gain a not to gain a loss. Like, he doesn't want to buy and sell at a lower rate. So definitely the revenue should follow same as the cost. Now for the question two, how does profitability vary per season? Looking at the trend of the graph, we realize that at the beginning of each half, that is January or July, the general trend is that the profit is going to be at a low. The profit, whether looking at the gross profit margin or the profit itself, is going to be at its lowest globally, and it's going to gradually be increasing. It will gradually increase to its peak at the end of the first or at the end of the second half of the year. And this trend followed like this for the past 3 years, that is in 2023, 2024, up to now in 2025. It was a similar thing for the profit, the total profit. Now, it should be noted that the gross profit margin simply indicates the company's performance, or indicates how well the company does in managing the cost of its sales. That is an increase in profits, an increase in gross profit margin will definitely show that the company is managing the cost of its sales adequately. That means it's putting the cost of, or buying the right amount of goods for its sales. So these two graphs simply adds more light to what I was saying, that the trend of revenue and the trend of cost is similar throughout the 3 years. Now back to what I was saying. As per this, the gross profit margin, an increase in gross profit margin indicates that the company is doing well in managing the cost of its sales. This leads us to our objective 3, or to our last question, which asks of the opportunities and challenges to improve the financial performance. Now, if we notice, if we notice, we realize that the idea here is to maximize the gross profit margin. That means we want to get the best or the highest rate in the gross profit margin. And since gross profit margin is affected by the sales price or by the cost price, yes, it's affected by the cost price, which further affects the sales price. We see that it is important that we maximize what we are doing. And from the previous analysis in the factors influencing profitability, we realize that if we go to the cost per article, we compare the cost per article and we compare the profits per article, we see that although laptop increases, is peaking, is stopping at the cost per article, we see that desktop catches up to it in terms of profit, although not equal, but they are similar in terms of profit, because the profit per article is 8.9, and the profit per laptop, so the profit in that the total profit that the laptop generated was 8.9, and the total profit that the desktop generated was also 8.9. Meanwhile, the cost that the laptop generated was more than 23 million, and the cost that the laptop generated was just 16 million. So in order to improve on, we see here that the desktop it increases the profit margin greatly. So in order to get the best financially or the highest amount of profit, it's going to be maximizing the cost of this desktop. That is, increasing the cost of desktop will definitely lead to a possibly a more higher increase in the profit of that desktop. Also, looking at the lowest profits, the articles that generated the lowest profits, we realize that services generated the lowest profit. Nonetheless, it was not the least, it did not have the least highest cost, meaning that we can simply maximize the cost of services. That means we invest less money in acquiring these services, in performing services. We spend less in performing these services, since it gives us less amount of profit. So that's one aspect in which we can use in maximizing. So it's an opportunity that we can use in improving the financial performance of the company. So adding more light to what I just explained, we also see that the vendor that had the highest amount of profit was vendor code 4. Vendor code 4. It had a high amount of profit. And if we use this pivot table, we could see possibly a reason why the vendor code should have or had the higher amount of profit. So if we take this like this, we see that the vendor code 4 it has sold the highest amount of article, that is 65,000. The total amount of article was 65,000. So possibly it has the vendor code 4 has the highest amount of profit, possibly because it sold the highest amount of articles. Nonetheless, it should be noted that the services which generate less profit also tend to affect the total amount of profits that a vendor may generate. Also, the data table I also created is to help us answer several questions that can come up during the meeting, as to maybe we want to know when a particular event happens. Say for instance, want to know when a particular event happened, and we can simply sort it per date. Say for instance, we look at this date here and we see that it has a low profit margin, a low gross profit margin, yes. So is I see the 2nd of January 2023, and I can simply refer to my data table and I go to the 2nd of January 2023. It shows me, maybe I can choose a range, and it shows me all corresponding values or corresponding articles that were sold on that day. Is going to be important to help me get more insight on what article generates more income than what other article. Um, so thank you for your listening, and I'll be open to getting your feedback. Have a nice day.
Good morning. My name is Bernice, and I'll be presenting the sales performance for a shipment company. The data I'm working on is from Graffiland Cloud, and I was able to connect to it through Microsoft Power BI. That's the tool I'll be using to analyze data. The main objectives of the company has three objectives. The first one is to evaluate the financial performance of the company in terms of revenue, cost, profit, and profit margin. The second one is to provide insights into the factors that influence the profitability of the company, such as the vendors, customer segment, article category, brand, and location. Then the third objective is to compare the monthly revenue of the current year with the corresponding month of the previous year in order to assess the growth or the decline of the company's sales. Um, my sales performance analysis has 3 pages. The first page is on shipment and returns. The objectives do not really specify or specifically request information on the shipment transactions of the company. However, I just thought providing this metric will go a long way in providing a relevant in providing relevant insights for decision making. As you can see, yeah, we have 3 locations. The company made 136,000 shipments and 1,500 returns. Then when you look at the first chart, the first clustered column chart, it outlines the different variations in shipment and returns made by vendors. Vendors Max, Mark, and Joe have more shipment transactions than the rest. And the list of vendors are Tess, Dean, and Stan. And then below it is a line chart that shows the fluctuations in articles shipped and returned. You can actually see that accessories had the most number of shipment, second by your laptop, and so on and so forth. The mobile phone registered the most returns. The most returns of 214. Yeah, they had 214 returns. And it would be safe to say that vendor Max returned most of the articles, because if I click here, you'll find out that Max returned, vendor Max returned, where's that figure again? Yeah. Out of the 200, out of the 117, no, not that. Yeah. Out of the 214 phones returned, vendor Max had a greater portion of 117 of 117. You can actually go through these filters to track the movement of articles over time. How many articles were, yeah, you can actually do that. I think the second article that was returned the most was, or is desktop with 178. Yeah, 178 returns. So if I click here, I'll see that vendor Max still made most of the returns. Yeah, vendor Max returns 78 out of 178 articles. So moving forward, in the next performance page, I am tracking the distribution of revenue by date. You can see the breakdown of total cost by year, total revenue and gross margin by year, and you can also see the average revenue by year. Below is below it you'll find the line chart that outlines the distribution of total revenue for 2013, 2014, and 2023, 2024, and 2025, and their corresponding months. From January to December. Then the third sales performance page tracks the following metrics. It tracks the total revenue, the total cost, the gross margin. I just thought it wise to add the average revenue, the maximum sales of 6.5 thousand, and the minimum sales. Now moving to the right, I'll be breaking down the revenue generated by customer segment. The revenue generated by customer segment. Also, revenue generated by location. By location, here we have revenue and gross margin by vendors. And moving down, you find revenue generated by article and the brand. These filters can actually can be used to get more insights on how each of these factors contribute to the growth of the company over the years or in a particular month of the year. For example, if I'm to evaluate the revenue for January. For January, let's say for 2023, you see the distribution of revenues or the contribution that all of these factors had on the company's revenue. I would like to conclude by saying that the company's strong performance position is it's good in the market. It's good, and there's potential prospects for further growth and success. However, I would recommend that a full background knowledge for any case study be provided for subsequent projects, so that I'll be able to provide concrete like justifications to why the metrics are the way they are. Also, I think more time should be allocated for the project just to make sure that we have uh, enough time to analyze every metric or every factor. Yeah, that brings us to the end of this presentation. Please feel free to ask your questions to ask questions of verification. Thank you for listening and bye.